Welcome to Theiabodium, and welcome back to Satisfactory. It's been a while. 2 months, actually, since I posted a Satisfactory video. No, I've been playing this a lot recently, so it hasn't really been a while for me. I want to start right here, actually. This is my fuel factory. I figured I only want as much fuel as I need at any given moment. So, even though I do have this unloading like crazy in here right now, I have lots of plastic in here, and this is going off to my oil factory in order to minimize the amount of liquid I need to move because it's extremely difficult. I have all the liquid manufacturing happening very far away, and then this conveyor belt here will be bringing back the fuel. Upon putting the plastic into here, I've actually timed it before, it takes 11 minutes for the fuel to return, but eventually fuel will return and end up in here. And you'll get packaged fuel, which I can use for my jetpack or vehicles or whatever I need to use it for. So we are actually going to go take a look at this factory. As you can tell, also I have a jetpack now. I forgot to mention that. I created that. I love the music of this game. I listen to it all the time, like when I'm doing other stuff, just because it's very peaceful and calm. Oh, we've reached a point where plastic itself has stopped. I wonder why that is. Okay, there it goes. It moved a little bit. Good, that means production hasn't stopped. It's just, at this point, production is going to be a bit slow. Yeah, this fuel's going to be producing for quite a long time. No fuel yet? No. Okay. There's the fuel. On its way back to home. So, now we're actually getting to the oil factory after a very long while. Let's see, where am I going to take you first? Well, obviously to the fuel creation. So here we've got our creation of these dudes, which, believe it or not, is producing 1 per second. But if I just had a basic conveyor belt here, it would be coming out 1 per second. But I just, yeah, I wanted to have these here to speed up the production speed. Then we come over here, and you got your liquid manufacturing, your fuel coming into there, and the fuel comes out there, and it begins its journey all the way back home. Okay, so there's that. Don't just ignore the coal everywhere. I had some coal problems, organizational problems. It's actually not coal, it's petroleum coke. But I figured out that this factory could be completely self-sufficient. All this oil that I'm producing, or sorry, all this plastic I'm producing, produces enough petroleum coke, or enough waste, to create enough petroleum coke to power the entire factory over here. So I'm using that, and it actually has a little bit of runoff, so I should be able to have some extra petroleum coke and maybe even begin adding power at some point. But the point is that this oil factory is completely self-sufficient. So we do have a little bit of runoff that I'm not sure what it's used for yet, but at some point I will be reusing this. But yeah, this is doing its thing. I have a lot of storage because I don't have any use for this stuff yet. But all that stuff is coming from the fuel production, which is right here. So you've got that oil extractor over there. I've got this one, which is splitting off some of its oil to the fuel generator. Then I've got these 2 oil pipes that run parallel over here to these 2 refineries, which you can see here, that are producing the rubber. Over here we have plastic, which is being run off of that oil extractor and that oil extractor. Again, pretty self-explanatory. But then you get this input and output. So the input is mostly oil, and then you have the output of plastic and rubber. And then whenever I need fuel, I send the plastic back on this conveyor belt, and it comes back to me as fuel. It's not exactly the best type of factory, but it's a basic plastic factory. It's one of the easiest things I could do. Getting back into Satisfactory, I wanted to make sure that I didn't have to worry about plastic or rubber anymore, because it was really difficult for me to handle before, because we were using biological reactors, and we had tubes running all of this way. Instead of these conveyor belts, we had tubes, which you can see in my old video actually, running all of this way, bringing liquid all the way back to home base to be refined, and it was just such a waste of power because, and I didn't understand this, it takes so much power to get liquid to go that far because you have to pump it uphill. So it took so much power and so much time, and there would be so many problems. Like, a lot of times the liquid would just stop coming, and I would have to go redo the pumps on the pipeline just to figure out what was wrong. It was very frustrating, and this was just a very overdue thing that needed to happen, where I replaced all the pipes with just straight up conveyor belts, and I made all of the liquid production happen there so that the liquid has to travel minimal distances, and it's just so much easier to contain that way. Now it's time to show you what my main factory looks like again. So, once upon a time, it was a very calculated and well put together masterpiece of construction, meaning it looked really satisfying and really cool because I had everything perfectly lined up. And the second factory still is that way, but as you can see, there are some things that aren't so neat anymore because I needed more power. I needed a lot more power and I have way too much power now, but I'm perfectly fine with that as long as I keep this type of infrastructure going. I had to go find more coal to power all these generators, so yes, this is 16 more power generators. You can see the original 16 I had over there. Doing really well on power. I have the ability to add on a lot more stuff to my factory without having to worry about power for a while, and that was kind of the whole point. I wanted power to be an abundance. One of the biggest new additions, and one of the things I really wanted to do with this video, though, is have a really cool train ride, one that I spent a lot of time making, and I did spend a lot of time making this track. To be clear, this power is the last thing I did to this world, creating this power infrastructure, because this messed up my power real bad. I couldn't power it, I was using bioreactors to power it, which was just not good. So I don't think this has honestly been too long of a video, but that's kind of the whole point, you know? I'm not really trying to show you guys me building everything. I'm really just showcasing my world and what I'm doing with it. So, I'm gonna give you guys a nice train ride, and, well, thank you so much for watching. I'm just gonna let you guys enjoy the train ride. It's a bit of a scenic drive, so I guess enjoy that for what you will. This is a pretty game. And I'll catch you in the next one.